Next up, we have blemish extraction. When we get to these sort of parts on the facials, it all gets super satisfying. Excuse the little clicking. I am just scrolling through to find blemish extraction. Here we go. Blemish extraction. So comedones, pustules, papules, milia. Comedones is another word for blackheads. Pustules, papules is other words for whiteheads, like red spots in the skin. Milia are the little kind of white spots that you tend to get kind of around your jaw and under your eyes, on your cheeks, that are difficult to squeeze out and generally need to be extracted using a needle, a sterilized needle. Blemish extraction, generally, when we are talking about blemish extraction, we are referring to acne and spots. There are various types of acne that we need to be aware of when we are doing facials on clients, when we're doing a skin analysis, when we are doing any type of extraction. So just to explain a little bit about how acne develops, all types of acne starts inside the pores, which contain a hair follicle and a sebaceous gland that produces sebum, our skin's natural oil. The body is constantly regenerating and shedding dead cells, but when those dead cells get trapped within the sebum of our skin, they combine to create non-inflammatory acne. If bacteria is present on the skin, it can combine with the dead cells and oil and cause an infection, otherwise known as inflammatory acne. So you've got non-inflammatory and inflammatory, and I'm going to cover both of those with you. Does the client have non-inflammatory acne? So, for example, non-inflammatory would be little blackheads, any spots that basically aren't inflamed, and they're caused by clogged pores. So this can be blackheads and whiteheads, just the teeny whiteheads that you see on the face that aren't surrounded by kind of redness and swelling. If your client has blackheads and whiteheads, the key is to unclog their pores and prevent bacteria from infiltrating them. So cleansers with BHAs, so beta hydroxy acid, so aka salicylic acid, so products that exfoliate, will help towards reducing blackheads and whiteheads. So there's just a little diagram here where you can see an example of blackheads and whiteheads. So blackheads kind of sit underneath the skin, whereas a whitehead will come out. We have pustules and papules, so other words for basically whiteheads, which comes under inflammatory acne as opposed to non-inflammatory because it is inflamed around the skin. You've got cystic acne. So this is the most severe type of acne, and it tends to be red, puffy, sore, inflamed, and painful. We have milia. So although milia aren't necessarily acne spots, they are a type of spot. So they are also known as milk spots. So they're ever so slightly tiny little cysts on the skin. And what happens is pockets. So like, let's say you take an open pore, it gets filled and then the skin heals over. So you basically have pockets of like kind of dirt and debris that builds up that literally sits under the surface of the skin. When they're extracted, they appear as a little hard white ball. And then areas of congestion. So comedones and pustules and papules can form anywhere on the face, as we know. Comedones, so blackheads, are most commonly found around the nose area. Milia around the eye and cheek area, and I mean generally other types of acne you can find anywhere on the face. When we are extracting, we'll use various extraction methods. So you can see in the picture here, we've got extraction tools, we've got the skin scraper, and we've got a little needle here. So you definitely want to be using a sterilized needle. One thing to note, if you do go into milia removal, as an example, you are opening the skin, which means you will need to have a sharps bin for the needles, and you'll have to have a separate bin for your sharps waste, which means you'll have to have a specialized company collect those from your workspace. Extraction process. So if you are doing extraction in any form, you're going to double cleanse, as always, evaluate the skin and take photos. Steam the face. I mean, this is optional, but steaming does open the pores and does help with extraction. Apply masks, serums, or creams. Identify which areas are suitable. Decide on your method of extraction, depending on what you are extracting. Clinicept the area of extraction. Proceed with extraction, ensuring to cause minimal damage. Post-extraction, use Clinicept to cleanse the area again. Clinicept is a lovely product that just cleanses the skin. It helps sterilize the skin. Put tools in a sterilizer and dispose of any clinical waste safely. Provide the client with aftercare and ongoing skincare products for home use to prevent further breakouts. So that just gives you a brief description of what we would extract and what type of acne that you may come across within your facials. Next up, we have light therapy.